Hey guys, welcome back to moreRoslyn. I'm looking because like I don't have a black eye. This is, I don't know if this is shingles or if I have eczema. It doesn't burn and hurt, thank God, but it just tingles and it makes me look like I have a black eye and I don't. But anyways, I just had to share that real quick because I'm just like, what is going on with my face? Um, so I want to talk to you about no fat a little bit. I had a comment which I thought was so interesting but so truthful. I think because I've been talking about no fat so much that it freaked her out a little bit, and I will honestly say, yes, whenever Anthony told me that I needed to be vegan, it freaked me out. It freaked me out so much it took me forever to figure out how to get there in a way and get through some of that stuff. Like he had like he gave me the big list of like no corn, no dairy, no gluten, no canola oil. I had to get off all these things. And so anyways, it was just tough. You can see my mind is like other places to a certain degree. But I had to get on here and talk about this a little bit. So, do you have those fears? Is it like when someone says, okay, I want you to get off of salt? Is it like, you cringe? I've had consults where they talked about that. They said that I had too much salt in my body, and I'm like, I didn't even feel like I ate that much salt, but now that I have very little salt, I completely understand what they're talking about. So I get the whole freaked out thing. Give yourself a minute to figure it out. Give yourself a minute to get curious about it. That's what I like to do. I get curious. If I get to the point where I have to do something, it stresses me out and creates anxiety, and I fall off the wagon even more. But if I'm like, I wonder how much more healing I could experience, or how I would feel if I went fat free, or what would happen. And it's just like with this eye stuff. I've decided that, okay, I have to go raw for a little bit. I have to go fat free. I have to go raw. This eye thing is bugging the crap out of me. I'm done. I'm over it. And I have literally shifted things. I mean, I've even got to the point where I'm like, I'm not going to do very many outings or hang out with people just so I can get my food on course, at least for 2 weeks. I might go longer. I might not get to 2 weeks, and it makes me cringe, but I'm like, it's so much easier to go raw sometimes because I don't have to clean up so much and my kitchen's not a mess, and I don't have to wait. And like even last night, the power was out and I was hungry when I got home. I'm like, crap, the power's out. And my husband's, he's on the porch and this and that. And I'm like, well, I'm just have some bananas, and I'm glad I'm raw because it makes it a lot easier to eat. And so I had some bananas, and then he's like, I'm hungry, so he's like wants to go to town, which means go out to eat or go pick up something, and we did, and I just still stayed raw and had a salad, and I got home and I was like, well, I could put this dressing on there or that dressing on there, but I don't really want them because I had vinegar in them, and I'm really trying to get off the vinegar, and I just ate the salad plain. And it's fine. I was like, okay, I was too tired. I didn't care. And it was so nice to wake up this morning and my kitchen wasn't, like, I didn't have all these dishes to put up. I didn't have all this stuff going on. So it was big. So whenever I pose a question about salt, or I pose a question about fat-free, which is funny because a lot of times I have things for things. So if I talk about getting off of salt, I'm going to tell you to add in kelp noodles, and I'm going to tell you to add in sea vegetables, and I'm going to tell you to add in celery. So I'm going to give you other things. But when I tell you to be fat-free, there's like one word that I think of, and I can't say that because I'm on a video. And it's like, what? Fat-free? How do you get over and get through fat-free? Well, it's just weird. It's just different. You have to kind of do different things. So I kind of have fell in love with mustard and honey mustard and ketchup, and I get a lot of those by Orville and Tessemae's because they're really good and they're medical medium approved as far as like there's not any no foods in there, but they are full of vinegar. And I think vinegar will really mess with your digestion still a little bit. So I try to limit it. So then like, oh crap, what kind of sauce am I going to use? So I have shockingly, and it's so simple, it's weird. I have been putting just orange juice on top of my salads, on top of the fruit that's on my salads, on my greens, like my spinach and stuff, and just orange, like a fresh squeezed orange. And I love it. Like, it's so much easier. I don't even understand how I'm eating that way, but I am. And then I also like to make a dressing, and it's orange juice, like fresh squeezed orange juice, a piece of lemongrass, like that big, like an inch maybe. Take the hard stuff off the lemongrass and like do the more of the shoot part. So about an inch of lemongrass, a little piece of garlic, a little piece of onion, maybe a little bit of jalapeno or serrano pepper, and a little piece of ginger. And I put that in the blender and let it blend, and oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. It's like yummy because it's so fresh and it's herby, but it's not herbs. It's like, it's just fresh, really, really powerful foods. And I'll put that over my salad dressing, or I'll put it over coleslaw, or I'll put it over like steamed potatoes. Another thing I like to do is I like to squeeze lime juice over my steamed potatoes and put seasoning salt on them. And that helps. That helps a lot because recently I've just been doing way too much ketchup and mustard. And I can tell a difference in my body. I've had like some stuff. I'm like, why am I gummy, or what's going on, or what do I feel? And it's taking me a minute, but I go through that. And the other thing about being fat-free or taking something out of your diet and freaking out about it, just take it out for a meal. Take it out for a day. And just see what happens, and like experiment. And don't be like, I'm doing this and I'm not gonna do this anymore because that might give you anxiety. To be like, well, I'm gonna try this way, or I'm gonna try that way, and like switch it up and get curious about it. The more curious you get about it, the easier it is to do. If you go into like the kid and the mom, like, you have to do this, like that pressure that your parents give on you or whatever, you might not do it, and it might be too hard, and then you'll fall off the wagon. And I know another thing is I try to challenge myself, but I don't try to overdo it. Like, I try to make tweaks, because if I get things going too much, I just fall apart and fall off the wagon. Like, I'm doing Mastering Diabetes, and a lot of them are talking about like eating whole foods, or they eat their whole foods. They don't really recommend smoothies. But as you see, like, I tried that for a few days, sort of, and it totally freaked me out, and I'm back to my smoothies. Because I'm like, I have to eat this way more than I have to, like, figure that part out. So, and the smoothies work for me as long as I'm fat-free. And on the weekends, I might start incorporating more foods, and like I might start doing more salads and stuff when I have more time during the week. But I'm not going to push myself, because the goal is to stay on track. So I completely understand freaking out whenever someone says, get off of this or don't do that. I have to remember that with my clients. So I understand. I get it. So that's why I like to approach things in a curious form, because then it gets me there. Because I'm always like, oh, if I go fat-free, how much weight can I lose? Or if I go fat-free, like right now, if I go fat-free for 2 weeks and raw, is this going to go away? Because I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of feeling it. Did this come on because I started more supplements? Or like I added some stuff for shingles. Did I just flare this out of my body? I'm like, well, I just got to get rid of it. And the part is like, well, why aren't you just thinking about healing? And I'm like, sometimes I just don't think that way. And so I kind of do this to myself. So, it's okay however you do it, as long as you keep like doing it. And it's about being proficient. It's not about being perfect. I don't care if you have cooked during the day. I don't care if you have no foods. I don't care if you have pizza. But if you actually have smoothies, like hallelujah. I mean, my gosh, this is a whole different way of eating than anybody in America, and it's big, or anywhere in the world where a lot of places don't eat like this. So to change this and do this, it's a shocker. It shakes you to your core. So if it takes you time, because it's taken me 3 years, I'm still not perfect, and I don't care because I ain't dead either. So I'm just going to keep working at it and keep working at it and figure it out, and what makes me feel good. And that's my biggest thing is what makes me feel good. And right now I don't feel good because my eye feels funny or the skin around my eye. So I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to change it curiously. And I don't care if I make it to 2 weeks or if it goes away in 3 days. I don't know. I'm just going to play with it and get curious about it and work towards it. And that works for me. So hopefully this helped y'all. Don't freak out too much. Or if you do, just take a breather. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's just one day without fat. It's just one meal without fat. It's just one meal trying a new recipe. That's a whole different way to think about it. It's I'm going to try this new recipe. It's kind of interesting, but it works. It'll work. You'll get there. I know you'll get there. All right. So I love you guys. If you want to check out way more in-depth stuff that I am doing and my weight loss journey and epiphanies I've had and how things correlate, go to moreRoslyn.vhx.tv. I will have the link below. I will see you guys soon, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.